Wsgw FM Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hours. Insurance.
Deborah Rodriguez. We're getting new details on a soldier killed in bad weather at an Army base near Augusta, Georgia, during a thunderstorm. Fort Gordon spokeswoman Ann Bowman told us moments ago.
At approximately 11:10, there was a lightning strike out in one of our range areas. There was a unit conducting a field training exercise there. 10 soldiers were injured. One of those soldiers succumbed to his injuries.
The extent of the injuries to those survivors is not available yet, and the identity of the soldier who died isn't being released until the family is notified. 1 out of 3 people in this country will be struggling through it. Heat, including people along the eastern seaboard. This man reacting as only a true New Yorker would.
This is ridiculous, this heat. There should be no work. Air conditioning, water, television, sleep. That's it.
There's another public hearing on the January 6th attack ahead. Correspondent Scott McFarlane is on Capitol Hill.
We're expecting to hear for the first time outtakes of a recorded speech from former President Trump January 7, 2021, after his advisors urged him to denounce the violence. The focus of tonight's hearing, according to the committee, is what they characterize as a failure to act by Trump for 3 years. The Capitol was under attack.
Just in, more Americans signing up for jobless benefits. Last week's level rose to its highest in more than 8 months. Analysts say it's a new sign of weakness in the labor market. Those first-time applications generally reflect layoffs. Apple's reached a hefty settlement in a class action lawsuit over its MacBook keyboards. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the details.
Those butterfly keyboards were meant to bring more precision than other keyboards, but brought more frustration instead. Apple introduced them in MacBooks starting in 2015 before phasing them out by 2020. Apple did not admit fault in its but it did agree to payouts ranging from $50 to $395 to customers who were affected.
Some orange and black beauties, a step closer to extinction.
In the heart of this grove, 500 million monarch butterflies lie sleeping.
Today, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature put monarchs on the endangered list. Their numbers are dwindling most quickly in North America. The decline over the past 10 years between 22 and 72%, depending on how it's measured. The world tiger population has grown by 40%. S&P futures are up 9. Dow futures ahead 9. Is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards, or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest. Right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 77 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Burchett. More Saginaw County residents are using absentee ballots this year. WJRT TV who have requested absentee ballots has more than doubled compared to 4 years ago. In 2018, the county had 8,000 requested ballots. Currently, the county stands at more than 19,000 and continues to increase. The Saginaw County Clerk's Office says so far the number of returned ballots this year already exceeds the number of requested in 2018 as well. Statewide, the number of requested absentee ballots is up also, though the number of returned ballots is down compared to 2018. Election officials say anyone returning an absentee ballot is strongly encouraged to use a drop box or in person at your local clerk's office instead of by mail in order to avoid delays. Plans for Saginaw United High School are going through big changes due to budgeting issues. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent.
The new school would combine 4 Saginaw high schools into one building at the current site of the Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy. At Wednesday night's school board meeting, the board was presented with proposed changes to the plans, which aimed to address an over-budget bid. John Waldrop of TMP Architects says that the bid came in $12 million over due to current economic issues. The changes to the plan include the removal of certain permanent furniture fixtures and the removal of a balcony in the second floor art room. The update would also large second-story band room, instead adding a smaller practice room on the first floor near the existing auditorium. These changes bring the $12 million difference down to only $3 million. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 9:07.
They had a look, an attitude, and a sound like no other. Sure, they were born in Jersey, but they were made in America.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Working my way back to you, babe.
Jersey Boys coming to the Dow Event Center Monday, July 25th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
It's been a while since I gave myself a real chance to meet someone new.
Susan and John are 2 kindred spirits who rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for singles over 50.
John is a massive foodie like me. It's been amazing to experience some of my favorite things again with someone who makes my heart beat faster. I'm so glad I got back out there.
Sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
WSGW News weather forecast is next. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has signed a balanced state budget for fiscal year 2023. Before signing the bill in Detroit yesterday afternoon, the governor said the budget doesn't raise taxes and instead uses a significant amount of one-time funding. The $76 billion spending plan is the largest budget ever for the state and includes a school aid budget totaling $17.5 billion. The budget also includes funds for a new veterans home in Marquette and a veterans cemetery in Grayling. There will be more than just art at the Ann Arbor today. Health reporter Dr. Deanna Lice reports 2 Eli Lilly mobile research units will be set up to screen for Alzheimer's disease.
In Alzheimer's disease, changes in the brain may begin a decade or 2 before symptoms like memory loss appear. But changes in the blood can give a clue ahead of time. Researchers at Eli Lilly are enrolling individuals for a research study to see if an investigational drug may delay symptoms. Dr. Roy Yari is the executive director of medical neurodegeneration at Lilly. Study participants must be 55 to 80 years of age.
They may be beginning to in thinking or memory, but don't meet a symptomatic diagnosis. It can really be anybody within the age parameters who have an interest in helping out science.
Dr. Deanna Lights for the Michigan News Network.
More Michigan drivers these days are buckling up. The Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning says the seatbelt use is estimated at just under 93%. That comes after traffic deaths hit their highest level last year in 17 years. Safety officials claim every 1% increase in seatbelt use equals 10 fewer deaths and 100 fewer serious injuries. Michigan's high 2009, when just under 98% of drivers were buckling up. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weather allergy forecast. Mostly sunny and breezy for today. Highs will top out near 90 degrees. Winds westerly 10 to 20 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, cleared to partly cloudy. Lows drop to 67. West-southwest winds diminish to 5 to 10. Friday, lots more sunshine. Highs warm into the lower 90s. Winds west 5 to 15. Higher gusts possible. Cloudy, chance for showers developing or building into the area after midnight. Lows fall back to 70, and then shower chances continue on Saturday. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 77.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us on this Thursday morning. Later on, we're going to talk about the Dream Center in Bay City. We'll have open phones after that, too. At 11 o'clock this morning, Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. But for the first part of this hour, if you've been following the news over the last couple of years, you know that buying a home has been an interesting process. Sellers have been selling their homes for over the asking price, substantially sometimes over the asking price. And then when you go to buy another home, you're paying over the asking price. Well, that was yesterday. What's happening today with the Fed raising interest rates? It may affect the housing market. It does affect the housing market, and we're going to find out about that this morning because we say good morning from Pinnacle Realty to Realtor Linda Shephard. Linda, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. So I think I was right that the past couple of years have been an unusual housing market. People were paying over asking value to buy a home, correct?
Oh my gosh, yes. The pandemic with everything that was, you were paying way over asking, multiple offers, no open houses because you didn't have to do open houses to sell. It has just been a frenzy. I mean, that's the best way to describe the market, was a frenzy.
Well, now here we are a few months later. Didn't take long for that to change, did it?
No, and we all knew it was coming. There had to be an adjustment. So, you know, and now it's here. It really came on this month with the last week of June from the National Association of Realtors. The last week in June, 60,000 contracts nationwide, which is 14% of all contracts that were under a purchase agreement contract, fell apart because people's interest rates went up. They can no longer afford the house. Those deals just fell apart in the last month of June. So the interest rates are definitely doing, I guess, what they were expecting, and it's slowing the market down.
When you say slowing it down, are houses still selling?
They're still selling. If it's priced right, of course it is still selling. It's still a bit of time to sell, but you're not seeing that multiple offers. If the house is done correctly, you're not seeing that as much. Now, if something goes on the market and it's definitely undervalued, we just had one in Bay City that literally had 6 offers in the first 24 hours again. But that's not, sellers are not going to have that same experience of, oh, I can just throw it on the market and it's going to be gone. It definitely slowed down.
When we talk about interest rates, we were hearing things like 3.25%, maybe even less in some cases at one point.
Yeah, I closed one last year at 2.5%. I mean, that's just crazy. That's giving a house away.
And if you had
which is fantastic.
If you had to close today, right now, what would the average rate be?
Probably 5.3.
Wow, it's gone up a lot then. And that translates
Oh,
into
yeah.
big dollars in terms of mortgage payments.
That's huge dollars. That's huge over, 30 years, 10, 15, 30. It doesn't matter. It's huge. So now that house they're just going to have to adjust down. It's just, this is what we've seen before, and it's coming our way now.
And what about lenders? Does this mean they change the way they look at buyers?
Yeah, because if you're at that 640 credit and you were right at the edge of being able to purchase, you're probably not going to be able to purchase because that cost of living now, again, the margin just got bigger.
When you say 640, that's a credit score, obviously, but whose credit
That's
score?
your credit
Because
score.
if you look at credit scores, they're all over the map. If you look at the various credit scoring agencies, which one do they use?
Right. They have their own. They have their own computer systems. I think they take a poll of all three of the credit scores, and that's how they run theirs. And it just depends on the lender.
And 640
and then
is
some lenders are in-house lending, so they look at it a little different. Everybody does it a little differently.
So what are you telling a home seller today? Let's start with the seller who now finds themselves wanting to sell their property. They've missed this big windfall. What do you tell them?
I tell them to hurry up and list today. don't that, get it on the market as quick as you can, because there's definitely going to be an adjustment this fall. It's coming. We've known it's been coming. I've been telling everybody it's coming, and it's not just me. It's at the state level. We read everything. I talk to other states. What are you seeing in Grand Rapids and things? And it comes right across. What are you seeing in Dallas, Texas? And we knew it was coming, and now it's just starting. So I would list now. Summer is still the hot market. I just am afraid that in the fall, we're going to start seeing marketing days at that 30-day mark, 60-day mark. Right now, it's been an average of 3 to 7 days on market. And it's great. And it's going to be great for buyers because now buyers can take a breath. You don't literally have to. It hits the market at 9 a.m. We're there at 9:15, running through as fast as we can to get our offer in. I just think for buyers, it's going to be
Yeah, but the other issue is the Fed is liable to raise rates several more times, and they say the next one could be anywhere from 3/4 to a full point.
I know. At the end, we're waiting for it next week. Is what I understand. It's next week. So, I sell your house now. For buyers who are on it's always a good time to sell and buy. I'm not going to dissuade anybody from buying now. Everything's timing.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? Timing. All right. Well, we'll check in maybe down the road in the fall, particularly, and see what it looks like. But for now, anyway,
I think it's going to be, September is going to be interesting. September is going to be interesting. I'll be so fascinated to see where we are in September.
All right. Linda, listen, thank you for spending a few minutes with us this morning to tell us about the marketplace. Appreciate it.
Always good to talk to you.
Same here. We'll talk to you down the road. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye now. Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty. We thank her for updating us on the housing market and where it's going. We'll take a break, come back. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
Where are you going, Steve?
Taking your car to Paintbull.
The body shop? What happened?
Relax. Paintbull's more than a body shop. They do detailing, rust proofing, even ceramic graphene coating applications.
Ceramic what?
No idea, but it sounds cool.
Whew, I thought you were going to Paintbull because you wrecked my car.
No, we just need a new bumper.
What?
Gotta go.
Get your vehicle looking great at Paintbull on Bay Road in Saginaw. We're more than a body shop. Visit paintbullrepair.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Where did I put that?
Pete's property manager did vacation.
See the dreams.
He needs a replacement before this becomes a cruel summer.
Oh, you wanted the lakefront for the 17th. How did this get double booked already?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Annette Glenn believes defunding police is radical and dangerous. Michigan's murder rate, 14th highest in the nation. Violent crime, above the national average. Annette Glenn backed more funding for police to keep us safe. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just per user plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Giving back to the communities we all call home. That's what the Lowe's Hometowns program and your neighborhood Lowe's are all about. We're working to complete 100 projects across 40 states and Washington, D.C. When done, they'll revitalize areas, including neighborhood housing, parks, and community centers. This $100 million commitment, the company's largest ever, is part of a goal to make a positive impact as we all continue to recover from the pandemic. You can find details of Lowe's Hometowns project and their progress at Lowe's.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More people were signing up for unemployment benefits last week. Jobless claims were up 7,000 to 251,000. Claims are now at the highest level since November. Continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, rose to 1.38 million. Europe is seeing higher interest rates. The European Central Bank lifted its key rate by 0.5% this morning as it attempts to fight inflation there. It is the first increase in more than a decade. AT&T reported an upbeat quarter. It was signing up more subscribers for its fiber and 5G businesses. AutoNation's earnings were better than forecast. Ford shares are higher. The company says it has secured the annual battery cell capacity it needs to produce 600,000 electric vehicles by late next year. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
It's one of the top 5K events in America today, held on the last Sunday in September. The Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk New York City event. That signature event has inspired about 80 other runs, walks, and climbs across our nation. Proceeds from events, including dozens of golf outings and barbecues, support the Foundation's programs. Register for an event in your area, volunteer to start one, and join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
the WSGW online poll for you: a 6-hour workday or a 4-day work week. As companies around the world continue to adjust and create working environments heading into the future, shortened work weeks and shortened work days are becoming more popular. While some workers may take advantage of these opportunities, in Norway and Denmark, for example, both who have work weeks shorter than 40 hours, they're the second and seventh most productive countries in the world. Several business analysts believe it could be part of a negotiable benefits package for companies and workers in the future. Poll question for you: what type of work day or work week would you want? A 6-hour work day? A 4-day work week? Are you happy with your current schedule, or you're not sure? You can vote to let us know what you'd like. Head to WSGW.com. You scroll down the homepage and find the online poll box. And thank you for your votes.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
Fly ball at center field. This one. And that ball is gone, a home run. Riley Green with number 2, straightaway center.
The Tigers play 3:15 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. And as I said, open phones for the remainder of the hour. And we'll go to those phones right now because Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. I'm going to start right in on this because I'm just really kind of sick of this Democratic Party. And the road I'm going to go down is they
What a
wanna know
surprise.
exactly
What a surprise.
Oh, I'm really getting fed up with them. Donald Trump due for 187 minutes on January 6th. I have some questions for these Democrats that are supporting this. Where was Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton when Ambassador Chris Stevens was being raped, dragged through the streets, and then murdered? Oh, I know. Barack Obama was playing backgammon, and Hillary Clinton was sitting in her basement drinking a bottle of wine by herself. Here's another question. Where was Joe Biden when 50 people cooked to death in the back of a truck due to his policies? Where was Joe Biden when 13 Americans in Afghanistan was blown to hell? Where was this president? Where's this president at when 129 of our murdered in the line of duty this year? Or where's Joe Biden at when the guys over at Judge Kavanaugh's house trying to murder him? Yeah. You know, these Democrats are sick, Art. I'm tired of them. I hope I don't get caught in a protest because I'll run these pieces of crap. I'm not moving for them. I'm tired of it. I find my life is in danger by these people because they're sick.
Well, I think you're getting a little excessive there. Your life is not in danger because Democrats are in power.
Dude, they're all about murdering and killing.
Oh, no, they're not.
They
Come
care.
on, Scott. Come on. When you exaggerate, that's when you get in trouble. Listen, I understand what you're saying, and some of your points are valid, but don't exaggerate it. Your points should stand up by themselves.
We have multiple cases when these murderous protesting Democrat groups came through cities and suburbs and this and that, and they scared the heck out of people. People had to run. Some people were shot. Come on, Art. These people are getting murderous, and they're not stopping.
All right. Well, we're going to leave it there because when you exaggerate, you lose your oomph. So I did your point when you call it Democrat murderous. Come on now. The Democratic Party is not a party of murder. They don't do that. Maybe there are some that do. Yeah, no doubt about that. But that's true on both sides. But they don't come to work in the morning saying, how can we murder people? Come on.
They sure in the heck don't go to work and say, how can we protect the American people?
Their policies are legitimate targets because their policies, I believe, are wrong. But they're not based on the fact that they want to wake up in the morning and murder somebody. Come on.
It's down the road. That's what's going to happen, Art. They're destroying our military. They're giving away all our military assets. We gave away billions of dollars.
See what happens. See what happens in midterms. I think that'll all come to a screeching halt.
If American soldiers run into the equipment that Joe Biden left in Afghanistan, is that considered murderous? Because maybe our American soldiers might die from our own equipment.
All right. Good enough, Scott. Got you.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. All right. Let's continue on. Who's next here? Mark in Mount Pleasant. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, out in California, they have where you can defecate and urinate out in public with no issues, no tickets, no misdemeanors or nothing. And I thought, man, In Kalamazoo, Michigan, pure Michigan, longer charging anybody misdemeanors or anything like that for defecation or public urination. In Kalamazoo, they built a $100,000 public facility for people to use to go and use the restroom. However, the report says that the door is locked most of the time. Why are we allowing people to do this in our great state?
Don't know. Didn't know they were, but it's not a good thing if they are. And why is the door? Why do you spend $100,000 on a facility and then lock the door?
That's a great question.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, no, I just don't want those type of policies that are potentially out, or that are out in California to migrate to our great state. I think it would really.
Well, then when you go to the polls, you vote for people that won't do that. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
That's the only answer. That is the only answer.
Well, sometimes public outcry can change people's minds, like the DAs when they get elected.
Hang on a minute now. Public outcry can change people's minds. It can also cause people to vote in a different manner, which is what you're looking for.
Right, long term, yes.
So public outcry is good. Public outcry is good. Speaking out against things your government does is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Founding fathers wanted us to do that.
Right.
And it works.
I agree.
It works most of the time. Doesn't always work, but most of the time.
And that's why I like the open forum that you have, that some stories don't get talked about. And it's nice to bring those type of stories to light, and maybe sometimes things can get done that way.
All right. Good enough, Mark. Appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Take care. And let's talk to Gene in Bay City. Gene, good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to go in a different direction from everybody this morning.
Okay.
Personally, I would kind of like if you would bring like a fourth grade teacher on and have her talk about what she's teaching and what she's not teaching and how she feels about it. I'm a person that loves history, and I think it's a shame we're not teaching more history in the schools. Right now, I'm reading the American Lakota Indians.
Oh, yeah.
Starting in the 1600s. And I think there's so much prejudice because people don't understand each other, where they came from. And like the American Indian, I think most white people think, that they had low IQs and were not as intelligent as the white men. And reading this book, it really opens your eyes. Horses were in America, and I think most of Mexico. So the American Indian had to walk or run any place he went. The Lakota Indians, they were from around Montreal down into the Great Lakes and I think by the Mississippi River. And at the end of the 17th century, they were very, very powerful because they had traded furs for horses, and they had a natural talent for training horses and breeding horses so superior to the cavalry or anybody else's. And they had control of the territory. They became very rich and powerful because they had thousands and thousands of warriors on horseback with guns, because people don't realize how important the fur trade was.
Yep.
And French, British.
Well, we realize it around here because the fur trade was very important in Michigan.
Right. Well, the Lakotas were very, very intelligent and very cunning and smart, and they became very, very wealthy because they controlled all that territory. And
then what happened?
What?
And then what happened?
They were overpowered by the amount of white people this were so outnumbered. But the French and the British would bring boatloads of horses and guns and everything in, and just give them for access to go across their territory.
Yep.
And they became very, very powerful.
Yep.
And you have a whole different outlook.
There is a huge lesson there, though. You can be very powerful, but if you don't mind your P's and Q's, that power can disappear in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. The idea that they weren't intelligent people is all wrong.
Yeah, we got that. I understand that. But I'm just saying, you can have all that power in the world. The lesson there is mind your P's and Q's, or that power is subject to vanishing.
Right. Well,
for whatever reasons. All right.
But what I'm saying, we should be getting rid of prejudice by teaching more history.
I would agree with that 100%. I would agree with that 100%.
Well, thank you for listening.
All right, Gene. Have a good one.
Have a nice afternoon.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Al, hang on. We'll get to you next. It's the Art Lewis Show on this Thursday morning.
Why can't Michigan students be the best educated in the world? Why can't the state that put the world on wheels have the best roads? Why can't Michigan be the manufacturing capital of the United States? I believe we can. My name is Tim Kelly, and as state representative, I cut through Lansing regulations every day. Now I'm running for state senate, and I'm primed to get our state back on track. Michigan has been held back by Lansing's red tape for far too long. Let's give Michigan a chance again. Paid for by Tim Kelly for state senate.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital and self-defense classes, we are building a safer community, one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name is Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. 900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial.
Feel like summer is flying by? Are you looking for entertaining family activities or to take a musical journey through the sounds of summer? The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer. Presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. There's still plenty to see and do throughout Saginaw and the riverfront area. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I thought learning a language would be too much work. Then I discovered Babbel. Jim Babel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes. And in 3 short weeks, you turn around and realize, hey, I can actually speak another language. Es como magia.
My friend from Italy said my accent and pronunciation is perfect. It's because Babbel's lessons are designed by language teachers and voiced by real native speakers.
I love that there's all kinds of ways to learn. Babbel's podcast or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
You learn words and phrases you actually use in real conversations.
In 3 weeks, I was speaking another language. So easy.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better.
To try Babbel free, text radio to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to try Babbel free. Text radio to 64,000. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And let us go back to our phones. Al lives in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, sir. And a couple of things here. That fellow that took out that fellow that was killing people at the mall, the shooter. That's amazing that fellow was able to take that guy out. 40 yards, 120 feet. He shot him with a Glock 19. And of the 10 rounds that he fired, 8 of them hit the suspect that was the mall shooter. That's fantastic. I can't believe the accuracy. This guy ought to be training people how to shoot.
Yeah, well,
he knows, how to handle it.
I said this the other day. When you get a CPL license, you have to take 8 hours of training, but it's incumbent upon you to practice and learn all the defensive tactics that go with it. That's part of the deal,
Yeah, this fella really had his training up to standards. Man, he really knew how to handle the gun properly and safely, and he only did the one fellow in that was causing the problem. He had no bystanders.
Well, that's part of the training. You learn to see what's behind your target.
Right. That's better than some of the police officials that people while they're trying to take down somebody. Hey, back on this military stuff, you had a couple of guests last week, I guess it was, talking about recruitment, and Tom Sullivan had some people on talking about it, and they said with the way that the military is being run right now, they don't feel they want to enlist. They want to go to protect the country, serve the country, help the country, blow up things, legally handle and shoot weapons to
who was saying
protect
this?
our forces. And they were saying that with the current White House, the president, he does not respect our military. He doesn't honor them.
I don't think the recruiters said that.
No. Tom Sullivan had some people on there were saying that.
Well, yeah, a lot of people have that opinion.
And they're saying they don't want to join right now because of all the some of the branches are having to learn pronouns to address various soldiers, so they're going through pronoun training, nonsense like that. There's various other transgender teaching things, and that isn't the job of the military. The job of the military is to protect the country. And this leaving this $1 billion worth of material behind in Afghanistan, some of the service people are just sick over that. They can't believe that we had a world leader that allowed that to happen.
It's a done deal, and
I know, but it was so sloppy a pullout.
Well,
they cannot forgive that.
Yeah,
and
all right,
I kind of understand that. That's just stupidity.
Yep. So what do you do
I'm
about
going
it?
to leave a nice weekend, and I may not agree with Scott on everything, but boy, Scott's got some ideas that are right.
Some, yes, absolutely. I object to the exaggeration. That's all.
Yeah, I understand that, but like him, we're beside ourselves with what we're looking at in the White House. We've got a nut in there that.
Well, come
he
2024,
he barely can stay on a bicycle.
Come 2024, you have an option.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a giant red tsunami wave. They're going to take a shellacking like I've never seen in my lifetime.
That may happen in the midterms, but the presidential election is a long way off, and we don't even know who's running yet. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
I don't think the Democrats have anybody on the horizon right now either. So
all right.
Either the midterms, I think you're right. I think we're going to see a tsunami of change that we haven't seen in 20 or 30 years.
All right, good enough, Al. Appreciate it.
Have a good weekend there, sir. Bye now.
You too. Bye-bye. And we'll be back with more.
Tudor Dixon. Working in the steel industry, she saw the results of Governor Whitmer's policies. Businesses closed, jobs lost, families moving away. Biden's policies aren't helping either. Skyrocketing. Tudor Dixon will stand strong against policies that hurt Michigan and government overreach. A businesswoman, a mother, a breast cancer survivor. Fighting for Michigan, not working for Washington. Tudor Dixon for governor.
Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Not authorized by any candidate. AmericansForProsperity.org.
Introducing a special first-time ever. Change your life in an instant ticket. $300 million diamond riches from the Michigan Lottery. A $50 instant gain. 50 years in the making with over $300 million in total prizes. The richest ever. Top prizes of $6 million. The highest ever. And 50 chances to win on every ticket. We're celebrating 50 years in an epic way. Play Diamond Riches from the Michigan Lottery. For fun. For schools. For 50 years. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kleiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
5X480. JDB 100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadly. But a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. To our phones, Earl's in Saginaw. Good morning, Earl.
You ever go home and want to punch your drone right in the prop?
No, why?
Just to cool off.
No, why?
You got more patience than I do. And, Scott, how does he go to the grocery store? There's some Democrats working there.
Listen, he's
Democrat, huh?
He is just he has a unique way of vocalizing his concerns, and
unique.
Probably,
okay.
Yeah. He's probably
I'll
you know what?
that.
In the same way that there are a lot of Democrats who I do not agree with and who are vocal in their expressions, they're great people, and I'll bet you Scott's the same way. He's got his ways, but he's probably when you meet him in person, he's just a great guy. So,
well, that's very possible. I'll give him the option. But have you? What tonight's one of my favorite programs is on because of the hearings. Yeah. Well, I enjoy it because it gives me an idea of what's going on with that whole thing, and it wasn't the Democrats.
Well, I have to tell you,
in Washington,
I'm not a fan of Steve Bannon, but he's absolutely right when he says it's a show hearing. Not one single minute of defense was provided. Anybody that would support the president was excluded. There's absolutely no one speaking in behalf of Trump. Now, what did Trump do? I don't know everything he did, and I don't believe everything the hearing is putting forth either. But in America, you deserve defense. I mean, that's basic to our system of justice and doing things. This is when you get to Congress and they do things their own way and their own rules. I guess it doesn't count. I guess they don't believe in defense.
I would have been liked to have been when we had the screaming campaign that went on in the White House in the middle of the night. But, about taking over the country. And I can't believe all those people that were in that gathering of people are lying that something didn't go on. But who knows?
Who knows? And that's it. Who knows? That's the question. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
All right.
May you beat the short guy in golf. Talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Let me take a moment to talk to you about Thalen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bay City. And if you're thinking of maybe buying a new car, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Ram truck, well, you owe it to yourself to stop in to Thalen on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, or go online to thinkthalen.com, where, by the way, you can complete 80% of your purchase online. 80% of your purchase, you can complete it online. And take a look at the new vehicles that they have arriving all the time. Make sure your name's on one of them. Don't forget, though, if you're looking for maybe a newer car than you have, a pre-owned vehicle, the Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, where all those dealers are side by side, have one of the largest collections of pre-owned vehicles in the Great Lakes Bay region. And you can find them all online, or you can stop in and take a look at them and then sit down with a Thalen representative at any of the dealerships, get your best deal, and drive away with that pre-owned vehicle today. It's one of the largest selections in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thalen Auto Group, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, where the Thalen family has been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Stop in today, look at the inventory, or go online to thinkthalen.com. And let's talk to Mark in Midland, I believe, is next. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing fine.
So, no disrespect for the lady teaching, but and no disrespect to racism. I believe it should be taught, but I think there's X amount of hours schooling in nowadays, and in those X amount of hours, I deal with a lot of people who come out of school and can't what 7:30 seconds is.
Yeah.
So when they're not teaching the basics that they need every single day going forward, I understand how racism and all of that other stuff is important to the society, but when you're not teaching stuff that is needed on an everyday basis, the school system is just losing these kids, because when I get ready to hire them coming out of school, they don't have the basics for the stuff they need. And when you talk about moving training, moving schooling hours, there's only 20 years that you can train these kids.
Well, wait a minute.
Teach them.
Yeah, Mark, hang on a minute, because, and yeah, I almost hate to say this, but when I went to school, which was a heck of a long time ago, they managed to teach us all the basics, and included history and civics and government. I learned all that in school, and we didn't have any more hours in the day than there are now. Where did we go wrong?
Well, it may be homeschooling. I don't know.
No,
it may be.
I have a theory. Let me put this out to you and see what you think of it. The problem today is we're not teaching to the subject, we're teaching to the test.
Correct.
And that,
without a doubt.
And I think that's a problem. You have to teach the subject and the basics of the subject, but they're teaching to the test in a lot of cases. Now, I'm not an educator. I'm not an expert. I could be blowing smoke and I may not know what I'm talking about, but that's my feeling, is that you talk to teachers and they have to teach to the test, which is not, in my mind, a good thing.
Yeah, but when they only get 6 hours a day and they're not covering the things like how to balance a checkbook and how to do all the things you need to do in everyday life, the child doesn't have a chance. And to move him into a direction which is important of history, I have not used any of my history. When Columbus sailed over here, it was important for the country, but that hasn't helped me in going forward with my life, because not too often does it come up that I need to know when Columbus came.
Yeah.
So history is important, but yet when you spend 1 hour a day in history class out of a 6-hour period, if you're not getting it in that amount of time, then to put more into the and less into what you need every day for life, it's like, wait a minute.
Well, wait a minute now. If you're teaching the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic, right? You remember that,
right?
That's only half the day. You got a lot of time to spend on history and other things, but you do have to teach the basics so that people can come out educated and know how to live their lives and know how to balance a checkbook and know how to do those things and know how much 2 + 2 is. And I agree with you that it's difficult when you're an employer trying to hire someone and they haven't got the skills. You wonder what happened. But still, I say there is enough time in the day to teach the things, and we do learn from history. Because if you don't learn history, you're subject to making the same mistakes.
I get it, and I understand. But you would not believe these kids that graduate nowadays.
Oh, I would.
Go to hire them.
Yeah, I would, unfortunately. Hey, I got to run because I'm out of time. We'll talk about it again. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. We'll be back to close out this hour right after these notes.
I'm retired Army Colonel Martin Blank, and I'm a Republican running for the state Senate. I've met thousands of our neighbors during this campaign. I've listened to their stories. They're often heartbreaking. They work hard, but they're barely hanging on. They're a paycheck or two away from disaster. They're fearful for their kids' future, and nobody in Lansing is listening to them. I want you to know I'm listening. I hear you. Your story is my story. I've been knocked around by life. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. As your state senator, I may not always get it right, but I'll always try to do the right thing by you. Nobody owns me, no special interests, no PAC, no party. I'm nobody's man but yours. For 23 years, I fought for you, including tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. This again is your state senator. This is Martin Blank, Republican candidate for state senate. I ask for your vote on August 2nd.
Paid for by Martin Blank for state senate.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great. And I stopped working weekends, thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar. Financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Scott Hamlin of Michigan-based Boning Archery. Then Tom Campbell from Woods and Water News. In hour number 2, we're talking Western UP fishing with Benjamin Haight, plus Cody Norton from the DNR on bears and wolves. In our third hour, it's bear dog training with Vance Gowell. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
Wsgw Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Next hour, we're going to start out talking to Mary Rathke from the Dream Center in Bay City. Then we'll move on to more open phones. Before that, though, news from CBS and the local report here on WSGW. That is what is ahead for you. And then we'll be back right after the news. We'll talk to you then here on WSGW.
From the Preview Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with breaking news out of Massachusetts, where passengers escaped a burning commuter train by jumping from a window. This man was aboard the MBTA Orange Line just north of Cambridge in Somerville.
They actually broke the window open with their bags. We actually jumped out onto the rocks near the tracks below.
Train Mystic River, there are reports one passenger jumped from the bridge into the water. So far, no word on injuries. The MBTA says the T train had a mechanical problem. A court hearing is underway in Minnesota for one of 4 former police officers convicted of violating George Floyd's civil rights. Thomas Lane was found guilty of depriving Floyd of medical care as he was pinned under Derek Chauvin's knee for almost 10 minutes. WCCO TV's Pauline Lee has details from St. Paul.
Federal prosecutors are going to be asking for the maximum 6.5 years behind bars. That's actually well below the 21 years that Derek Chauvin received earlier this month for the same violation. This judge could actually sentence Lane to less than that, even as little as 6 months of house arrest.
During the incident, Lane asked twice if officers should turn Floyd on his side while he was handcuffed face down. Former President Trump's actions and inactions on January 6, 2021 will be the focus of tonight's January 6th hearing on Capitol Hill. Republican Adam Kinzinger will head up the session.
The reality is, I'll give you this preview, the president didn't do very much, but gleefully watched television during this time frame.
A lightning strike proves deadly at Fort Gordon in Georgia. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
The Army says 1 soldier died and 9 others were injured when a thunderstorm. They were training near Augusta. The extent of the injuries isn't known.
Thunderstorms, part of the weather system that's producing severe heat again today. Meteorologist Craig Allen with our affiliate, WCBS.
Places like Las Vegas, Kingman, Yuma, all the way across into Phoenix, Arizona, we'll see heat index values of 110 to 116 degrees during the afternoon hours. And even in the San Joaquin Valley of California, once again, we have a heat advisory in effect.
Forget about trying to get through to your doctor on the phone. CBS's Jim Krasula says Amazon is getting into healthcare service.
It's spending nearly $4 the primary care organization One Medical. In a statement, Amazon says it wants to reinvent, quote, the healthcare experience, from things like booking a doctor's appointment to making a trip to the pharmacy.
The Dow is down 68 points. This is CBS News.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed, the end-to-end hiring solution. Attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Chris Velasquez. My favorite show was Dirty Jobs. It reminded me of growing up on the farm, working road construction, and night shifts at the potato chip factory. I've liked every job, and there are no non-essential jobs. The worst thing big government did the last 2 years was divide us by declaring who was essential and who was not. You have a right to provide for your family. As your state senator, my job is to protect that right and to bring even more opportunity to our communities.
Paid for by the committee to elect Christian Velasquez for state senate. As golfers, we want more distance, more accuracy, more birdies, pars, and one putts. What if I told you that you can get all of that and more for less during your next golf getaway? Now with 90 holes of golf at one resort, Shanty Creek Resort is bigger and better. Discover a new golf mecca in Bel Air with all the more you need. Variety, quality, and quantity with customizables. Accommodating every group and budget. When you're ready for more, we'll be here to welcome you at Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. While you still have options, Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WS.
Sunny skies and 78 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. With the new state budget finalized, Republican state lawmakers from the Great Lakes Bay region are sharing what they see as some of the highlights. State Representative Annette Glenn of Midland pointed to a $5 million allocation for My Michigan Health in Midland for boiler and facility upgrades. She said Midland isn't the only community which will benefit.
Michigan's new state budget will strengthen communities across the state, whether the increase in revenue sharing, $130 million to support local level law enforcement, EMS training, and fire departments, additional funding for safe drinking water, $0.6 billion to reduce debt. This leaves additional funding for tax relief as well.
State Representative Timmy Beeson of Bangor Township says $400,000 in the budget for boys and girls clubs of the Great Lakes Bay region will help improve facilities. He says the Herbert W. Stein Memorial Park in Monarch Township will receive just over $269,000 to expand access to the Cucaulin River, plus other upgrades. The John Glenn High School pom-pom team performed in front of millions of television viewers on NBC's America's Got Talent, which aired Tuesday evening. The team is comprised of freshmen through seniors ages 4. Coached by Shelby Putnam, the team won the Mid-American High Kick Championship last November. Putnam says that's how the America's Got Talent journey began for their team.
The team gets to choose what theme they get to do for that. Our team chose to be the Latin rapper Pitbull. So our entire team wore bald caps and tuxedo jackets and did a really fun number that audience seemed to love. And viral on TikTok, got 8 million views. And then someone asked us if we were interested in trying out for America's Got Talent. So we submitted our video for the auditions.
The team won the approval of all 4 judges on the show and advanced to the second round. The next episode airs on NBC July 12th. GW News Time, 10:07.
The AGI Nico Mixed Flow Grain Dryer efficiently heats kernels evenly to avoid heat damage and effectively dry all grain types. The system's screen-free operation and computerized moisture control deliver consistently higher quality grain and heavier test weights per bushel, translating into maximum profit. Whatever your farm size, AGI Nico has a dryer designed for your needs. To find an AGI dealer near you or for more information, visit aggrowth.com. That's aggrowth.com. No two farms, fields, or crops are alike. That's why when you add AGI as a member of your farm team, and delivering a wide range of high-quality storage and dryer systems, permanent and portable grain handling options, and digital technologies customized to meet your operation's unique goals. Whether you need smart grain bins to optimize grain conditioning or custom storage to accommodate changing commodities, AGI has you covered with connected farm solutions. To learn more, visit aggrowth.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. In Lansing, Democrats in the State House have introduced a resolution that asks the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate nearly a dozen Republicans for allegedly trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Singles out 5 House members named in an alleged plot to use a false slate of electors to claim Donald Trump had won the state. All 11 representatives were part of a lawsuit seeking to overturn the election results. State Attorney General Dana Nessel has said any criminal investigation should be done by the federal government. Ford is reportedly cutting up to 8,000 salary jobs. The company's not commenting, but Bloomberg says it's to help fund Ford's electric vehicle development. Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert says we could hear more later today.
Ford planning an update this morning on what it calls the Ford Plus plan to lead the electric vehicle. Includes ways to build out the industrial system to build up to 2 million electric vehicles a year by 2026. It's not known if Ford will be addressing the reports of job cuts at what's called Ford Blue. That's the internal combustion side of the business.
A 46-year-old man in northern Michigan is in custody for flashing a handgun in public, but this case has an unusual twist. The Wexford County Sheriff's Department says it received multiple 911 calls about a naked man dancing while possessing the handgun on southbound US 131 Tuesday night. Witnesses reported the Rapid City man was naked, dancing, doing push-ups, and produced a 9mm handgun. He eventually manually emptied the ammunition from the handgun while witnesses remained on the line. State police and a Wexford County Sheriff's deputy arrived on scene, put the subject into protective custody. He was transported by ambulance to Munson Hospital in Cadillac for a mental health evaluation. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny and breezy for today. Highs will top out near 90 degrees. Winds westerly 10 to 20 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight cleared to 67. West-southwest winds diminish to 5 to 10. Friday, lots more sunshine. Highs warm into the lower 90s. Winds west 5 to 15. Higher gusts possible. Friday night, partly cloudy, chance for showers developing or building into the area after midnight. Lows fall back to 70, and then shower chances continue on Saturday. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 80.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from my home studio, my Saginaw Spirit home studio. Nice to have you with us on this Thursday morning. We're going to begin the hour talking about an event coming up this fall and how you can get involved. And we're going to do that with the head of the Dream Center. We say good morning to Mary Rathke, who I can actually see in the studio this morning. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. I think before we get into the event in October, we need to refresh people's memory on the Dream Center, what it is, what it's all about, what it does.
Yeah, we are a faith-based community center, and our mission is to help our community dream again. We help people in need. They'll come in needing material assistance, direction for resources. They come in for recovery meetings, and we're just there to facilitate them and to help them so they can meet their needs and kind of move forward in life, hopefully accomplishing those dreams that they have to kind of move beyond the situation they're in.
And you mentioned it's faith-based?
We are faith-based. The community center is open during the week, and of course we facilitate anyone who walks through the doors, but we do have a community worship service on Sunday nights available for anyone who wants that spiritual help. Sometimes people just want material assistance. But
if I remember right, you're a pastor, is that right?
I am a pastor, and most of the time, if I don't have anybody scheduled, I'm the one that is doing the service on Sunday evenings, but we are open for other churches to come in and kind of maybe pick a Sunday to serve the community. And we definitely partner with other faiths. We have our friends from the Catholic denomination and different places like that that come in and help run different programs.
Well, all of this takes money. You have to be funded. And that explains the October 26th event coming up this fall called Taste and Dream. Tell us a little bit about the event and what you're looking for now, because we're so far ahead of the event. There's a reason we're talking about it today.
Yeah, we are looking for sponsors and for organizations that would like to sponsor different elements of the evening. We have different restaurants that have committed, and of course, we're looking for more to bring in some wonderful food. We'll have different areas set up throughout the building. And as you go through the building and taste all the different evening, you will learn about all the different programs that we offer, from the furniture we bring people when they leave the shelters, or the car seats we hand out to parents in need. And they can see all the different things that we do while enjoying a nice evening of food.
So what types of sponsorship are you looking for?
We are looking for businesses to sponsor with finances, and then in return, they will sponsor maybe a room that people will be coming through. They will have their, links to their websites on our social media and on our postings of the event for sponsors of food, for restaurants to come in and bring their food and show off in the evening.
And for those of you listening that don't remember about this, the Dream Center, this particular event, Wednesday, October 26th, is just one. There has been an event in the past where Mary spent a little time on the roof. And you're going to do it again?
Well, not this year. I will say, though, that event opened my eyes. We've had people in the past come through asking for emergency food, and we'll usually direct them to different food pantries, but give them just enough to kind of get by for a few days. Without a kitchen, they're very unique, and they'll say, but I don't have a kitchen, right? Maybe they're sleeping in their car or they're staying in a tent. So I experienced homelessness on the roof of the Dream Center for 3 nights. And when you don't have a microwave, you don't have a fridge, you are looking for that pre-made item. So we now offer emergency kits for people without a kitchen, so they can get items that they don't need to prepare ahead of time. It's ready to eat food.
That's interesting. It was a fundraiser, but at the same time, you learned something from it, didn't you?
I did. We've always had the coats, and you don't realize how much the wet begins to seep in. It doesn't matter how many blankets you put on if it's raining on you for 3 days straight.
Yeah, you didn't get good weather, if I remember right.
That's right. Well, I wanted to experience Michigan in the wintertime, which is why we picked so late in the fall. And I had snow on me that final morning, and you get so cold, you don't realize until you're out of that environment. When I came into the Dream Center, I thought they had the heat set to 90. I actually went and checked the thermostat and said, why have they have the heat up so high? And I realized it's 68. And I was just so cold that it felt like a furnace when I came in.
How did it change the way you run the Dream Center? Did it change it?
I think for me, it changes my perspective. Saturday morning, it was about 2 nights in, I had a young man very early in the morning come visit me. And he said, I was told by somebody in the park to come find you. And he said, I'm homeless. I've been sleeping on the park bench the last 2 nights. And I said, well, our operations manager will be here soon. She's going to connect you, and help you. Services that he needed. And he explained that he was very hungry and thirsty and wanted to know if I could give him a cup of coffee, because it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I said, you're going to have to wait till the operations manager comes in. And he's like, well, why can't you just go inside the building and get me a cup of coffee? And I'm up on the roof talking to him. And I'm like, I don't have a ladder. I can't get down. There's no way for me to get down. He's like, why are you up there? I said, I've spent the last 2 nights sleeping up here. And he looked at me and he said, you know how cold it's been. You know what I went through last night. And to say to somebody, and this is why when I'm talking to sponsors or to our volunteers, why having an emergency bag for people without a kitchen is so important, is because I've experienced that. I've been there. I understand when they ask for food, why a can of ravioli does them no good.
Yeah. But of course, and the other thing too is one of the things is you've become, in a way, a referral service, because there are entities in Bay County, for example, where that young man could have gone. Good Samaritan, for example.
Exactly. And that's what our operations manager would have done. Refer him. We have a booklet we hand out. It's called SOAR, Seek Out, Ask, Request. And it is filled with all of the nonprofits and help services that we are aware of in Bay County. So when people come in, the first thing I do is grab that and go to that section and walk through and help the people there. The only things that we offer are items that we know are not offered anywhere else. We would have drive-through giveaways during COVID time, and I would see mothers with children, no car seats. And so I would call around, I'd call all these different places, and when I found out there wasn't really a place to refer them to, I started raising the money, because for me to say we're going to add to our program and now offer car seats for anybody that walks in the door that needs one, I have to know that I have another $100 tomorrow to buy another car seat. So we've been able, since I was on the roof, to add on the car seat program. We were also able to add on the adult diapers, and a lot of them, of the new programs, get added on because of the circumstance. We might have someone stop in and need a ride, and I take them in my car, and when I arrive there, they're saying, please, I need adult diapers. And after they had an accident. And it's like, where in the city can they get adult diapers, and how can we have some to make sure that they're available when people need them?
Maybe everybody ought to sleep on the roof for 3 days. Be a real eye opener.
I think it would be a huge perspective change. People said, why didn't you do it in the summer? And this week is a very good example of why I did not do it in the summer.
I would agree with that. Mary, hang on. I got to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking to Mary Rathke from a Dream Center in Bay City. There's an upcoming event, October 26th. They're looking for sponsors. We'll tell you how to do that when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, Bill G. Schuette joined the fight against terrorist and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight Biden inflation and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children's education. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports the requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote for the conservative Republican you can trust, Bill G. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I've briefed generals. I can stand up to Democrats in Lansing.
It's been a while since I gave myself a real chance to meet someone new.
Susan and John are two kindred spirits who rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for singles over 50.
John is a massive foodie like me. It's been amazing to experience some of my favorite things again with someone who makes my heart beat faster.
Sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened mixed after news that new claims for unemployment benefits rose last week. Jobless claims were up 7,000 to 251,000, and continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, rose to 1.38 million. The European Central Bank has raised interest rates for the first time in 11 years, though the 0.5% increase brings its deposit rate to zero. Rates have been negative there. American Airlines just turned its first profit without government support since the pandemic began. American also expects to make a profit in higher fares and continued demand. Amazon is buying medical provider One Medical, which offers care in person along with digital and virtual care services. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-328-9696. That's 800-328-9696.
Annette Glenn believes defunding police is radical and dangerous. Michigan's murder rate, 14th highest in the nation. Violent crime, above the national average. Annette Glenn backed more funding for police to keep us safe. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Now, a WSGW morning team show memorable moment.
LA Rams head coach Sean McVay, he says he's just not sure how his players will be able to follow social distancing guidelines. McVay said, it's really hard for me to understand this. I just don't get it. I really don't. Here you go, guys. It is possible to do. We can tell Sean it is very possible because, as we Michiganders can attest to, we've witnessed the Detroit Lions defense practice social distancing for years. It is possible.
Group on the website had a big mistake. They were touting a President's Day sale, saving $10 to honor President Hamilton, who of course never was a president. And Dave and I referenced, we know that there are presidents on the 1, the 5, and the 50, but we don't have any bills bigger than that. For bills bigger than that, we have Art Lewis, who carries those other bigger bills in his wallet.
Thank you very much.
Pictures
Thank you
on
very
those.
much. We never see numbers that big to know who's on them, but we thought we could add.
Moments are made with you. Weekday mornings with Charlie and Dave and Pat, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Fly ball at center field. This one's deep. This one's way back, and that ball is gone. A home run. Riley Green with number 2, straightaway center.
The Tigers play 3:15 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Pastor Mary Rathke from the Dream Center in Bay City. So, Mary, you're looking for sponsors for the Wednesday, October 26th Taste and Dream event. How do people sign up to be sponsors? Is there, first of all, a website?
We do have a website, greatlakesdreamcenter.org, and we will have a posting on there. They can 15th with more of the details. In the meantime, they can always call or text the center or email us or click on our website, the Connect form, and let us know that they're interested. We have sponsorships for friends and individuals, and we have all the way up to the title event sponsor for businesses.
Is this the first time this event's being held?
It is our first meal event where people can come in and get a tour and raise funds this way. Yes.
And it'll be almost like a taste of Bay City.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have lots of different restaurants we love in Bay City there to have them try out.
Let's talk for a minute about the Dream Center and its operations. Do you have volunteers?
We definitely have volunteers. We are always looking for more volunteers. We have one full-time staff person. I myself am still a volunteer. I work there 40 hours a week, but I don't take a paycheck. And if we didn't have lots of people helping out, we wouldn't be able to serve the people in need when they come through our doors.
What made you start it in the first place?
I did a lot of volunteer work at the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission. Obviously, I raised money through the Amazing Race for Rescue and other events in the past. But I would notice that families would come back. We had worked so hard to figure out their situation. And when I would see them come back 6 months later, I got very curious. So after speaking with them, I found that there is no social worker for them outside of those doors like they get when they're at the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission. There is nobody to help them with those extra things that they need. And so they end up purchasing them and then not having enough money then to pay their rent, and they end up back in that same situation. So we created the Great Lakes Dream Center to help families with the gaps. We don't want to reinvent any wheel, but we want to be able to point people in the right direction and kind of work a little bit as that social worker, referring them to where they need to go. We are looking for volunteers because some people just need like a life coach to kind of help them move on to that next level. And then we offer the items that we know they can't find anywhere else.
Obviously, you have a bricks and mortar presence. You have a building. Where are you located?
We are at 700 Lafayette in Bay City, Michigan. We're on the corner of Lafayette and Garfield.
And how long have you been there now? How old is the center?
Well, we've started the vision and fundraising since 2013, but we've been in that current building working in this capacity since 2018.
So where do you get, for example, your food products that you hand out? The ready to eat things that don't need kitchen, for example.
Right. Items like that, people donate things and we kind of pick out the items that can be put in the without a kitchen bag versus the with the kitchen bag. And then we also purchase items to supplement what we need.
It all comes back to money, doesn't it?
It always comes back to money. I've often told my friends, why is it so hard to help people in need? But it is hard. It costs money to keep a building running. It costs money to have just, basic staff. It costs money to purchase the items that we hand out.
So the event, Taste and Dream, which is on October 26th, is going to be held where?
We are opening the doors of the Great Lakes Dream Center and encouraging the community to come in. We offer tours every week. People will come in for a tour, but this special event will have in each of the different areas a volunteer telling the department or area that they help with how it's changing lives.
And time, when does it start?
The doors will be opening at 5:30 and they will be able to move around through the building from 6 to 7:30ish, and then we'll have a short presentation.
And you'll have various food stations.
Yep, they'll be open all that time.
And do you have a cost yet other than sponsorships?
We're going to be selling tickets at $25 each. And again, after August 15th, you'll be able to go on the website and click that link. But in the meantime, feel free to call us, text us, or email us and let us know you're interested.
All right, so let's talk about someone who may be interested in either donating money, food, what have you, or volunteering. What should they do?
They should either call us, stop by, or reach out through our website via email or through the connection. Sometimes people get a hold of us through the social media apps. We are open Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 1 p.m. We want to offer some weekend times that are open and evening times for families that are working during the day and can't get to us. But in the meantime, people call and text us every day and they ask for help. And so we set up times where they can come in outside of our open hours as well.
And again, this is all at your location at 708, is it, or 700?
700
Lafayette. And no appointments needed. If you don't want to call, you can just come, right?
Exactly. Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 1 p.m. we are open. We have volunteers in the lobby ready to assist you. The operations manager is typically available during that time. And we also have a donate button on our website. So a lot of people just like to give online. They can set up an automatic withdrawal from their credit card or bank, whatever they prefer. And it's all secure. And it's an easy way. You don't even have to think about it, that every month I'm helping somebody with a car seat. Every month I'm helping somebody with diapers. Every month I'm making a difference in my community. And giving is a great opportunity for people who just don't have the time to volunteer.
Well, Mary, I want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning. I'm glad to hear you're not going back up on the roof this winter. Because I was concerned. I remember talking to you and and knowing what the weather was. And I'm going, well, how can she do this? Had to be a real experience for you.
It was definitely one of those things that when they asked, are you doing it again next year? I said, I'm never doing that again. And then I came back after a few more weeks and said, okay, maybe in 3 years. So that's where they're holding me to it, because I said 3 years. In 3 years, I might be doing something even more extreme on the roof.
Or you might want to go the other way.
I reminded them I'm going to be 3 years older too. So
that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, Mary, listen, thanks for coming in this morning and telling us about the Dream Center. Give everybody the website address again.
www.greatlakesdreamcenter.org.
Very
Thank
good.
you so much for having me.
You're more than welcome. We'll do it again. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
Mary Rathke from the Dream Center, the Great Lakes Dream Center in Bay City. We will be back after these notes.
The heat is rising at Saguenay Eagles Landing, and you could win up to $100,000 cash. The winning sizzles every Friday and Saturday in July. From noon till 9 p.m. each day, one lucky player every hour will have the chance to turn up the heat. The hotter it gets, the bigger the prize, all the way up to $100,000. The heat is rising, only at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Yes Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, Prostastream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of Secrets that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Doug. Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Looking for a new place to call home? The Springs of Frankenmuth is a Wellspring community. Friendly home design, supportive technology, services, and home affordability. The Springs will quickly become part of your active senior lifestyle, so you can forge new friendships and nurture old ones too. To live each day on purpose, with purpose. Visit lifeatthesprings.com. New homes are going fast, so reserve yours today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is time for the WSGW Winvitational. This year, including a 4-person scramble at the sawmill, 3 closest to the pin contest, and $10,000 hole-in-one contest. The WSGW Winvitational is presented by Westside Decorating Center and powered by Branham's Jewelry. On Tuesday, August 16th, golfers will compete for fun and prizes at the Sawmill Golf Club. Golfers can purchase entries by participating in closest to the pin contests powered by Sarah Automotive of Saginaw. 3 separate closest to the pin contests will be held during the WSGW Morning Team Show on July 19th, 26th, and August 2nd. Each contest, listeners will be invited to stop by between 5:30 and 9 a.m. and take 3 swings at the pin. At the end of the contest, the golfer closest to the pin wins a foursome into the scramble at the Sawmill on August 16th. Plus, each closest to the pin contest will include the $10,000 hole-in-one presented by Buck Insurance in Freeland. All the details available for you online at WSGW.com.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show on this Thursday, and we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour, whatever you'd like to chat about. I have a couple of things I want to mention. First of all, when Mary Rathke was here a few minutes ago, we had a caller off air ask where they can donate food, clothes, and the like. 700 Lafayette, corner of Lafayette and Garfield is the address of the Great Lakes Dream Center. So that is where you would take it. Also received from the Michigan Attorney General, Dana Nessel, an alert this morning. Has to do with a scam that's going on out there with utilities. And what they do is claim to be from DTE, stating they're sending field staff to turn off electricity because of non-payment. They want immediate payment through a debit or gift card, which should be a warning signal right there. A promise of returning the funds if it's later determined a mistake was made. Yeah. And the number on the caller ID shows DTE. A toll-free number, a real one, but it's a spoof. So if you get a call like that, remember utilities, none of them will call you and demand you go buy gift cards to pay your bill or anything like that. If that happens, hang up, notify your local authorities, because it is a scam. And you don't want to get bitten by one of these scammers. Here's one. This was yesterday. You know, I know why we talk about once in a while the fact Joe Biden does do a lot of press conferences and doesn't do a lot of extemporaneous speaking. Because every time he does, he gets himself in trouble. Yesterday, he casually announced during remarks that he has cancer thanks to the oil industry. So there's 2 parts of that were in error. First, he doesn't have cancer. The White House had to immediately walk that back and say, no, he had skin cancer a while back. I think it was before he was actually inaugurated. And that's fine. I mean, I understand that. But he doesn't have it now. And how did he blame the oil industry for it? I don't understand that. But every time he talks off the cuff, so to speak, the White House has to immediately go back and retract and amend whatever he says. Is it a wonder he doesn't hold nearly the press conferences that other presidents have? Nope, not at all. I have his staff is keeping a close eye on what he does and how he does it. Here's another one. This is, I don't know, depending on how you view it, I kind of like it myself because I'm kind of a space junkie a little bit. NASA is set launch dates for returning to the moon using a giant new rocket. And if you've been following the news, there has been a story that China was going to try and colonize the moon, take it over, claim it as theirs. It's going to be interesting to see what this all leads to. But I'm one of those, I don't think our space dollars are misspent. We have gained a lot from the space program since the 50s and 60s. Not just putting a man on the moon. That was exciting and it was wonderful. Great to see. Left one of the great all-time quotes in history from Neil Armstrong. But more than that, it's the products and the science that's developed from these launches. How computers are improved. How products are invented, like Velcro, for example. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think we get our money's worth from space exploration. I'm not sure that we would derive as much going to Mars, for example. But going to the moon, which we know is doable, I think we could learn great lessons in science. So more power to them. And this rocket apparently is a NASA rocket, not one of the contract rockets like SpaceX or Boeing that are working on them. This is apparently a NASA rocket. Be interesting to see what happens and what they do with it. It's huge. I know that. It's bigger than the past rockets. So they'll have a little more oomph getting there. Meantime, we'll take a break, come back. Lines open for you if something you want to chat about.
Where are you going, Steve?
Taking your car to Paintbull.
The body shop? What happened?
Relax. Paintbull's more than a body shop. They do detailing, rust proofing, even ceramic graphene coating applications.
Ceramic what?
No idea, but it sounds cool.
Whew, I thought you were going to Paintbull because you wrecked my car.
No, we just need a new.
Get your vehicle looking great at Paintbull on Bay Road in Saginaw. We're more than a body shop. Visit paintbullrepair.com.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 3807 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9 Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222-3807 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-222-3807.
Looking good, Mrs. Duck.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Aeration. They need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Your home is the largest investment you'll make in a lifetime. But do you even know what it's really worth? Now, Ownerly.com gives you the information that real estate investors and professional agents don't want you to see. Knowing your home's worth helps you get the best value when selling and helps you manage it when not. Need a home valuation? Ownerly.com gives you 3, while the other... It's time to take ownership of your home with Ownerly.com. That's OWNERLY.com. Ownerly.com. See what your home's worth.
Paid for by Ownerly. Anthony was working a dead-end job.
I was surviving, but I wasn't getting ahead anymore.
A friend told him about My Computer Career.
She's like, I'm already in the program. She's like, you'd be crazy if you don't do it. I jumped right in and have not regretted it.
Anthony did it all online.
All you gotta do is have an internet connection and you can do it.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
You need to check out My Computer Career. If it worked for me, it'll definitely work for you too.
It's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSGW online poll for you: a 6-hour workday or a 4-day work week. As companies around the world continue to adjust and create working environments heading into the future, shortened work weeks and shortened work days are becoming more popular. While some workers may take advantage of these opportunities, studies show in Norway and Denmark, for example, both who have work weeks shorter than 40 hours, they're the 2nd and 7th most productive countries in the world. Several business analysts believe it could be part of a negotiable benefits package for companies and workers in the future. Poll question for you: what type of work day or work week would you workday? A 4-day work week? Are you happy with your current schedule, or you're not sure? You can vote to let us know what you'd like. Head to WSGW.com. You scroll down the homepage and find the online poll box. And thank you for your votes.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, bulletin. I guess that's the way I'd say it. We've just learned there are stories coming forth. The one I saw was from the Washington Examiner that President Biden has COVID, and he is isolating in the White House. Not much else to tell about it. They don't say much else, but he apparently contracted COVID somehow. And of course, the concern is he's 79 years old or whatever he is, and that becomes a concern. So we will follow that story. I'm sure that CBS will have more to tell you at the top of the hour, and we'll keep you updated on details as we find out more. So stick around and hear the news coming up at the top of the hour from CBS. But again, the president has contracted COVID. All right. With that, here's something. This has always fascinated me. I've never been to it. And to be honest, I don't always understand all the folks that go to it. Have you ever had a desire to go to Comic-Con? Well, it's back in full force after the pandemic shut it down and slowed it down. It's going to be in, I believe, San Francisco or San Diego. San Diego, at the San Diego Convention Center. Comic-Con returns. And it's interesting because you see people there in everyday street clothes who are just comic fans. And then you see those who dress up as the comic characters and enjoy the experience of being a superhero in a vicarious way, I guess. I've always wanted to go just to see what it was like, just to be an observer, a little fly on the ointment, so to speak, a little mouse in the room. Wouldn't you like to be in the room and hear what people say and what they do without having to interact? I mean, just, I want to be an observer off in a corner someplace. I always thought that'd be fascinating. I was not a big comic book fan when I grew up. I must admit, I do have some comic books that I've saved that are in pristine new condition, mainly because I thought, they're interesting and maybe there'll be some collector's value someday. I doubt it. But I have them. I have about 3 of them. And, but I've never been a comic book reader. Never got into the comic book side of things. Now, I've watched some of the superheroes. I mean, when I was growing up a kid, The Superman television show was big on television and one of my favorites. I had a lot of, growing up as a kid, I had TV heroes, if you will. Superman, Hopalong Cassidy. Remember Hopalong Cassidy in his black outfit, black hat, pearl-handled guns? Carried 2 sets of guns, one on each side, double holstered. He was my favorite Western character. Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, they were popular. I liked them, but Hopalong Cassidy was my guy. And as a kid, I had a Hopalong Cassidy outfit. I had the guns. I mean, I really was decked out. My parents knew how much I liked William Boyd, which was his name, Hopalong Cassidy. And so they treated me to the Hopalong Cassidy look, if you will. And it was fun. I mean, it was a game we played, Back then, Westerns were real popular. Very, very popular on television. Not as much anymore. But back then, Westerns were king of the hill. Hopalong Cassidy, Cisco Kid, Bat Masterson, let's see. There were a bunch. Lash LaRue. Remember Lash? Remember some of these names? These are just some of them. And, Gene Autry, the singing cowboy. How could you forget him? So that was a kind of a fun time. So I look at Comic-Con and I'm saying to myself, wow, it could be a way to go back and relive your childhood a little bit, just for the fun of it. Never will, but always thought I wanted to. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and close out this edition.
Look, an attitude, and a sound like no other. Sure, they were born in Jersey, but they were made in America.
Jersey Boys coming to the Dow Event Center Monday, July 25th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I thought learning a language would be too much work. Then I discovered Babbel. They make learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes. And in 3 short weeks, you turn around and realize, hey, I can actually speak another language. Es como magia.
My friend from Italy said my accent and pronunciation is perfect. It's because Babbel's lessons are designed by language teachers and voiced by real native speakers.
I love that there's all kinds of ways to learn. Babbel's podcast or game. Even join live classes with a language teacher.
You learn words and phrases you actually use in real conversations.
In 3 weeks, I was speaking another language. So easy.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than Babbel.
To try Babbel free, text radio to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to try Babbel free. Text radio to 64,000.
I was 53, divorced, and ready to get back out there. I was unsure about dating sites, but I signed up for Silver Singles and quickly met Lily.
Mark and Lily rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for 50-plus singles who know what they want.
Lily's a lover of the great outdoors like me, and we instantly connected over it.
If you're like Mark and want to rediscover that feeling, sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's /love.
It is time for the WSGW Winvitational. This year, including a 4-person scramble at the sawmill, 3 closest to the pin contests, and $10,000 hole-in-one contests. The WSGW Winvitational is presented by Westside Decorating Center and powered by Branham's Jewelry. On Tuesday, August 16th, golfers will compete for fun and prizes at the Sawmill Golf Club. Golfers can purchase entries or win a foursome by participating in closest to the pin contests powered by Sarah Automotive of Saginaw. 3 separate closest to the pin contests will be held during the WSGW Morning Team Show on July 19th, 26th, and August 2nd. Each contest, listeners will be invited to stop by between 5:30 and 9 a.m. and take 3 swings at the pin. At the end of the contest, the golfer closest to the pin wins a foursome into the scramble at the Sawmill on August 16th. Plus, Each closest to the pin contest will include the $10,000 hole-in-one presented by Buck Insurance in Freeland. All the details available for you online at WSGW.com.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midden.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. We thank you. I'm off tomorrow, but I'll be back with you on Monday. But stick around right now because coming up on Focus, we'll talk to Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. And that will happen right after the news. CBS coming up at the top of the hour. Hopefully we will learn more about the president and COVID-19 and then the local report. All of that is ahead. But first, the news. We'll talk to you after it.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The White House says President Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
Ahead of this moment, White House aides have said for months that it wasn't a question of whether the president would come down with the virus, but when. Mr. Biden tested positive this morning. We're told he's experiencing very mild symptoms. His doctors have already put the twice-boosted 79-year-old on the antiviral drug Paxlovid. The president's plans to travel today to Pennsylvania and Delaware are being scrapped, and the White House says Mr. Biden will, quote, until he tests negative.
Reaction moments ago from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
I understand that the symptoms are light. I hope they continue to be so. That was my experience. I hope that that's the case for the president.
Pelosi had the virus in early April. Now to suburban Boston, where fire broke out on a crowded commuter train as it crossed over a river. A scramble to get to safety this morning on that train in Somerville, Massachusetts.
We heard an explosion. Understandably, people got very frightened, started screaming. Some Good Samaritans tried to actually pry the doors open.
The commuter line says it was a mechanical problem that caused it, and no one was injured. Just ahead of a Saturday school board meeting that could cost the Uvalde school police chief his job, an emotional confrontation involving the school gunman's mother and a distraught woman who lost a child in the attack nearly 2 months ago. CBS's
A tense confrontation was caught on camera by a Telemundo news crew.
You have no right to judge my son! No, you don't!
It shows Adriana Martinez, the mother of the attacker, responding to the family of Amory Jo Garza, one of the 19 children murdered at Robb Elementary.
Why didn't you call the cops to begin with?
Martinez then apologizes.
I know my son was a coward! You don't think I don't know that? And I'm sorry!
Well, CBS's Scott McFarland tells us evidence presented tonight to a special House committee could help build a case against Donald Trump.
The January 6th panel says the focus of this primetime hearing will be what it characterizes as a failure to act by former President Trump as the Capitol was under attack. One component of the hearing, we're told, will be the playing of recorded outtakes of a January 7th speech by the former president after his advisors urged him to denounce the violence.
Amazon says it's buying the primary care organization $1 billion deal. Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 165 and the NASDAQ is up 11 points. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Hometown feel and big-time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel, this is a getaway that makes you feel right at home. We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in and see what the good times are all about. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details. Tudor Dixon. Working in the steel industry, she saw the results of Governor Whitmer's policies. Businesses closed, jobs away. Biden's policies aren't helping either. Gas prices and inflation skyrocketing. Tudor Dixon will stand strong against policies that hurt Michigan and government overreach. A businesswoman, a mother, a breast cancer survivor. Fighting for Michigan, not working for Washington. Tudor Dixon for governor.
Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Not authorized by any candidate. AmericansForProsperity.org.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max. Some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
I'm Chris Velasquez. My favorite show was Dirty Jobs. It reminded me of growing up on the farm, working road construction, and night shifts at the potato chip factory. I've liked every job and learned from every experience. There are no non-essential jobs. The worst thing big government did the last 2 years was divide us by declaring who was essential and who was not. You have a right to provide for your family. As your state senator, my job is to protect that right and to bring even more opportunity to our community.
Elect Christian Velasquez for State Senate.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
78 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Lynn Williams. Plans for the new Saginaw Public High School are undergoing changes to fit budget constraints. WSGW's Jonathan Dent reports.
Saginaw United is a planned new high school merging 4 existing schools into one campus on the current site of Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy. Heard a proposed change to the plan for the building, which originally came in $12 million over budget. The proposed change would remove a second-story music room in favor of a smaller addition on the first floor across from the existing auditorium, which will remain intact throughout construction. John Waldrop of TMP Architects says that these changes were made to compensate for a bid that came in $12 million over budget.
With our value engineering efforts, we got about $8.5 million back, just by eliminating things, and part of that was the music rooms. That was the big chunk. So it's, 3.5.
Waldrop says that economic pressures pushed the bid over the expense of value engineering cost the district an additional $100,000 to have experts find and trim costs from the project. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Republican lawmakers from Bay and Midland counties have positive things to say about the new state budget signed by the governor Wednesday. State Representative Timmy Beeson of Bangor Township says the bipartisan budget funds schools, fixes streets, and will keep residents safe while saving money for possible tax relief. Beeson also pointed out a $400,000 allocation for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Great Lakes Bay region. State Representative Annette Glenn of Midland says the Midland Community Center will benefit from a allocation to help build its new facility.
I'm also pleased with the additional funding for the community center in Midland, which will be a source of great pride and strength for years to come. I'm glad to help move this project along because I know how important it's going to be for the community and how hard they've been working together to make this a reality.
The budget also includes $5 million for boiler and facility upgrades at My Michigan Health in Midland. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take Take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www., or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. In West Michigan, police say a Berrien County Road Commission worker is dead after being struck by a suspected drunk driver. Officials say the worker was cutting up a fallen tree Wednesday afternoon south of Berrien Springs when a vehicle struck the tree and the road worker. The driver, identified as a 36-year-old Buchanan man, was arrested on a charge of operating while intoxicated, causing death. He had minor injuries from the crash. The case of monkeypox in Michigan, health officials in Washtenaw County say a local resident who recently traveled outside Michigan has been identified as having the county's first case of monkeypox. Michigan has now identified 19 cases of the contagious virus, which carries symptoms including rash, fever, headache, muscle aches, and exhaustion. There's a report that Ford is getting ready to cut as many as 8,000 jobs in the coming weeks. People familiar with the plan told Bloomberg that cuts will be in the Ford Blue unit, which is responsible for producing internal combustion engine vehicles as well as other salaried. The eliminations will help boost profits as Ford pushes into the electric vehicle market. The plans are still developing and could change. Ford declined to comment on the cuts. A local high school pom-pom dance team has brought national recognition to the area after its performance on America's Got Talent Tuesday night. The John Glenn High School varsity pom-pom team advanced to the second round after winning the approval of all 4 judges on the show. Coach Shelby Putnam says it was a whirlwind of an experience.
I will say that LA is a very different world in the community that we're used to. I will admit that I am an agenda-prone person, so laid out and give plenty of notice, especially when you're dealing with high schoolers. And because of the nature of how fast-paced everything works, you kind of have to just kind of go with the flow.
The team, friends, and family gathered together at John Glenn High School Tuesday night to watch the premiere episode of their performance. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weather allergy forecast. Mostly sunny and breezy for today. Highs will top out near 90 degrees. Winds westerly 10 to 20 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Early cloudy. Lows drop to 67. West-southwest winds diminish to 5 to 10. Friday, lots more sunshine. Highs warm into the lower 90s. Winds west 5 to 15. Higher gusts possible. Friday night, partly cloudy, chance for showers developing or building into the area after midnight. Lows fall back to 70, and then shower chances continue on Saturday. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 81.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the business, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out more about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. And today we talk about insurance, as we do monthly with our friend Ken Buck from Buck Insurance in Freeland. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
Hey, we're doing well. Thanks for joining us. I know that you are involved with us with our Winvitational, and I wanted to start out talking about that because we have a $10,000 hole-in-one insurance policy. Tell us how these policies work on events where we see people giving away cars for hole-in-ones and money for hole-in-ones. How do they work?
Well, it's based on which golf course it's at and the length of the golf course and what the value for the prize is. That that sets the premium for buying that. So you are in essence gambling that the person's going to do it, and the insurance company's making a bet that the person's not going to do it, because the premium for it is just a fraction of what the actual prize is, because it doesn't pay out all that often.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of rules that go with it, aren't there?
There are. It's got to be witnessed, and it's got to be one shot only, and yeah, there is a whole page of legal.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was sent the rules. What are the types? That's one type of specialty insurance. What other types of specialty insurances are there? Let me give you an example. Let's say we're going to hold an outdoor event. Can I get insurance against the weather?
There are, like, for instance, when you buy airline tickets and concert tickets or plan a vacation, there is like a trip insurance that you can purchase through the company that you are buying the product from, that if something happens, that they will either give you a gift certificate or transfer your certificate to another event. So there's that type of thing. There's not really, as a private individual, it's kind of hard to, like if I'm planning a home reunion, there's not really to buy insurance against it raining all day for my family reunion.
So I take that chance then, right?
Yes. You're self-insuring that.
Yeah. What about insurance on unusual or, classic items? For example, one of the big hobbies in the country today is classic cars. You see them everywhere. There are classic car shows. Is the insurance on a classic car different than the insurance I put on my everyday driver?
Yes. Because really, if you've got like a 1934 Ford three-window coupe, that's not really something that's readily marketable, so that it depends tremendously on how well that has been preserved. So if it's a survivor car, it's been redone, is it resto-mod? So you need to get some sort of an appraisal on that vehicle to determine approximately what that is worth. And then you can insure that for a specific dollar amount based on that.
And go
ahead.
Does a policy like that limit how much I can drive it?
It depends on the insurance company. If you have antique plates on your car, then the state limits you that you can only drive that car to parades, shows, exhibitions, and other types of things. A lot of specialty insurance would follow along with that state requirement. So if I have antique plates in the car, I can only drive it to and from those events. So if I'm driving it just as a daily driver, then that insurance could be void. So you want to check with your insurance agent exactly how that's insured. Generally, there's not, for like a classic car that doesn't have the limited use antique plates on it, most insurance companies will insure it if for its specific value, and some companies have a maximum 1,000 miles per year you can drive it, and some companies don't care how much you drive it.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I got to take a break. We're talking to Ken Buck from Buck Insurance in Freeland. More when we return.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Finding there can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Here's the deal. I've had constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements, but my symptoms keep coming back.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Happy and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's an FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit Inspire.
Has this ever happened to you? Your significant other says, we've got to redo the kitchen, and you break out into a cold sweat?
Well, don't worry. It's a common condition, something we call needless remodeling anxiety, and we've got the cure. Heck, we are the cure. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Whether you do it yourself or direct it yourself, we can help you keep your project on track and on budget.
So join us this weekend for the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit on WSGW.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
And we're back with you here on Focus, talking to Ken Buck from Buck Insurance in Freeland. So, Ken, I don't think I've ever asked this question this way before. Let's say I'm in the market for auto insurance. I show up at your business in my everyday economy sedan, or I show up in my pickup truck, or I show up in my Corvette. How different are the policies going to be based on the vehicle I drive?
It used to be that a lot of the insurance was strictly based on the cost new of the vehicle. When the vehicle was new, it had a price range, so they set a cost symbol for that. A lot of companies use that. Nowadays, what a lot of insurance companies use is actual crash test data. So per 100,000 vehicles on the road, how often is that make and model involved in an accident? And then when it is involved in an accident, how much damage is done to the vehicle itself? What are the injuries, are the occupants thereof? So for instance, if you take like an SUV or a pickup truck, it's a little bit larger vehicle. So if that is in an accident with, say, a small sedan, a lot of the energy from that accident is going to be transferred from the large vehicle to the small sedan. So you're going to have more damage done to the small sedan. You're going to have more injuries to the occupants of that sedan. So actually, for a lot of SUVs and pickup trucks, those type of vehicles generally are purchased by older individuals, so they don't have as many accidents. So it's actually less expensive to insure a more expensive SUV than it is the small sedan, which is really inexpensive to purchase, but it's more expensive to insure because those type of vehicles generally are purchased because they're cheap. They are purchased by younger individuals that tend to have more accidents. And then when they are in accidents, there's more damage to the vehicle. There's more injuries to the occupants.
All right, so let's look at that Corvette. And I know you're very familiar with this because you've got one, but
yes,
typically it's more expensive. It's higher horsepower. So do I expect I'm going to pay a lot more for my insurance if I'm driving a sports car like that?
If we were back in the 60s and 70s where they used to have surcharges based on the performance of the vehicle, yeah, it was definitely, you'd pay like 2 or 3 times the normal rate.
Yeah, I had a 64, I know well.
Today, actually, that Corvette is not involved in accidents very often. So a lot of people don't drive their Corvettes very much. They don't use them as a daily driver, especially in Michigan with the ice and snow. So they don't drive them as much. They don't have fewer accidents. So even though the value of the vehicle is high, the insurance is really, really inexpensive for those type of luxury sports cars.
I bet if you stopped 100 people on the street, not one of them would give you that answer.
That's true, but that's the reality of today's insurance. Insurance companies are trying to take a better look at if I insure this vehicle, how much am I going to pay out? So that's going to be the basis for how much they charge for insurance.
Do they still use my credit rating, my zip code address as part of the rating structure?
There still is territories in Michigan. It's changed quite a bit with the new law. So there's a certain maximum and minimums that you can be charged within certain areas of the state. But that's gone away a little bit. A lot of it's going to be based on your insurance score, which is kind of like a credit score, but it's also based on if you let previous insurance policies lapse or non-payment, if you've had a lot of claims. So that affects your insurance score, which is similar to a credit score, but not exact. And there are 2,000 insurance companies in Michigan, and there's 2,000 different insurance scores. Every insurance company has their own specific criteria that they look for in their own insurance score.
Wait. There are 2,000 insurance companies?
There are a lot of insurance companies doing business in Michigan. So that's for like business insurance and property insurance and auto insurance. So all the different types of insurance, there's a lot of insurance companies. And they all have their own little credit score criteria that they're looking for.
Well, obviously, it's a complicated situation. So if we want to get help from you, where are you located and how do we get a hold of you?
I'm located at 7585 Midland Road in Freeland, and you can call me at 989-695-2525. You can email me at ken@buckinsurance.com, or my website is www.buckinsurance.com.
All right, Ken, we'll talk to you again. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Art.
Take care. Bye-bye now. That's Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. We thank him for being with us. We'll take our last break, come back and close out. Let me take a moment to talk to you about my friends at Krizak's House Family Restaurant up in Bay City. Proud to be a business that serves the area with the finest in dining and takeout, and grateful for all of you who have been their customers for many, many years. They look forward to waiting on you at the restaurant or with takeout. Every day is takeout day from 11 to 7 today. Friday and Saturdays, 11 to 8. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. And if you want to give them a call, it's 989-894. And it's 5531. 894-5531. Krizak's House Family Restaurant. We will be back to close out.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of July, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Hidden Harvest. Hidden Harvest has rescued and distributed over 46 million pounds of good, nutritious food since being founded by the Saginaw Community Foundation in 1994.